Hello everyone! In this video lesson we're going to do some dictation. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is a quick review of what things you need to mark for this dictation. Then we're going to watch a clip together from a TV series to see what's going on and what the storyline is. This will help you listen to the text for the first time for meaning. Next, we are going to actually do the dictation. You're going to listen to me and you have to transcribe the text and then add the corresponding diacritics for accents and tone. And then finally, we're going to check. All right. So let's review. What do we mark? The first thing you need to do is to transcribe the text into phonetic script. All right? You can use the dictionary to check for words in case you need to. As this is a dictation practice, this is a good thing to do. The second thing to remember is that you need to record the accented syllables in each IP. Remember that any syllable bearing a strong vowel can be accented, and you mark accents this way, with this stroke. Remember to mark the stroke before the accented syllable. During the checking process, in the key you may see these two arrows, replacing the stroke for an accent. These arrows mean that it is another type of accent, but it's still an accent. So if you see that and you mark the stroke, for this practice, that will be correct. And finally, don't forget about tones, alright? You need to mark the tone in each IP. Remember that the last accented syllable is the one that carries the tone. It's where the tone begins. And you've got all of these possibilities. You can have a high fall, a low fall, a high rise, a low rise, a fall rise, a rise fall, and a level tone. Let's revise with the word tone. The word tone is a one-syllable word, so pay attention, because the movement is not so evident as if we had more than one syllable. Tone, 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 tone. All right, so there you have all the different tones with the word tone. Now for the second part of this video lesson, we're going to watch a video clip. Just watch it for pleasure, right? To familiarize with the text and tell me what's going on. What's the storyline? Let's watch.
We are not warriors, Captain Hunter. We possess no army.
And I'm not asking for one. Just a single-time ship. And your permission to change history before Vandal Savage puts an end to it.
I'm not appealing to you as Time Masters.
But as humans, please. Grant me the authority to change the timeline just this once.
How did the council meeting go, Captain Hunter?
Exactly as expected, Gideon.
So we are proceeding?
Indeed. Prepare the Waverider for takeoff. Set a course. United States, Star City, January 2016.
Ah, the early second millennium AD. The golden age of gasoline engines, online pornography, and those silly little smartphones. What are we going to retrieve, Captain?
Oh, not what. Who? I need you to pull up some files, Gideon. The 8 men and women who'll be joining us on our little crusade.
You usually prefer to work alone, Captain.
This time I'll need a team.
Okay, so now that you have watched this video, what's going on? Right, so we see some kind of dystopian world, right? With places that do not exist, together with places that do exist, because the United States is mentioned, but then they mention Star City, and that city is non-existent. So we've got, at the beginning, the year 2166, And there's someone called Vandal Savage who has conquered the planet, some kind of villain. And then Captain Rip Hunter asks for help. He's talking to what is known as the Time Masters in the Time Council, and he wants something. What does he want? Do you remember? Yes, he wants their permission. He wants their permission to change history. A dangerous thing to do. And then Captain Hunter mentions the year 2016. That's where he will travel back in time because he wants to gather a team to combat Savage and save history. And this is the team, all right? He's going to go to that year to look for these people, all right? So if you're interested in DC's Legends of Tomorrow, it's on Netflix, all right? So with all this background, let's go and do a dictation. For this dictation, there will be 3 speakers. You will have a Time Master, then you will have Rip Hunter, and you will transcribe Rip, all right? And Gideon. Gideon is the AI, like the computer, on the time ship who helps or assists Captain Hunter. Okay, so now you're going to listen to me and remember first, transcribe the text into phonetic script and then add intonation by means of marks for accents and marks for tone. When I finish dictating the text for the first time, you will see on the screen the minute to which you will need to go back for you to listen to the text again, unmark accents, and the same for tone, all right? So you can go back as many times as you want, as many times as you need to listen to this again, all right? You will see the minute on the screen at the end of this dictation. Now, let's do the dictation. All right, first speaker, Time Master, Time Master, Time Master. We are not warriors, Captain Hunter. We are not warriors, Captain Hunter. We are not warriors, Captain Hunter. We possess no army. We possess no army. We possess no army. Next speaker, Rip, Rip, Rip. And I'm not asking for one. And I'm not asking for one. And I'm not asking for one. Just a single time ship. Just a single time ship. Just a single time ship. And your permission to change history. And your permission to change history. And your permission to change history. Before Vandal Savage. Before Vandal Savage. Before Vandal Savage. Puts an end to it. Puts an end to it. Puts an end to it. I'm not appealing to you. I'm not appealing to you. I'm not appealing to you. As Time Masters, as time masters, as time masters, but as humans, but as humans, but as humans. Please, please, please. Grant me the authority to change the timeline. Grant me the authority to change the timeline. Grant me the authority to change the timeline. Just this once. Just this once. Just this once. Next speaker, Gideon. 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 How did the council meeting go, Captain Hunter? How did the council meeting go, Captain Hunter? How did the council meeting go, Captain Hunter? Next speaker, Rip. Rip. Exactly as expected, Gideon. Exactly as expected, Gideon. Exactly as expected, Gideon. Next speaker, Gideon. So we're proceeding? So we are proceeding? So we are proceeding? Next speaker, Rip. Indeed. 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 Prepare the Wave Rider for takeoff. Prepare the Wave Rider for takeoff. Prepare the Wave Rider for takeoff. Set a course. Set a course. Set a course. United States. United States. United States. Star City. Star City. Star City. January. January. January 2016. 2016. 2016. Next speaker, Gideon. Gideon. Ah. 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 The early second millennium AD. The early second millennium AD. The early second millennium AD. The golden age of gasoline engines. The golden age of gasoline engines. The golden age of gasoline engines. Online pornography. Online pornography. Online pornography. And those silly little smartphones. And those silly little smartphones. And those silly little smartphones. What are we going to retrieve, Captain? What are we going to retrieve, Captain? What are we going to retrieve, Captain? Next speaker, Rip. Oh, not what? Oh, not what? Oh, not what? Who? 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 I need you to pull up some files, Gideon. I need you to pull up some files, Gideon. I need you to pull up some files, Gideon. The 8 men and women. The 8 men and women. The 8 men and women who'll be joining us on our little crusade. Who'll be joining us on our little crusade. Who'll be joining us on our little crusade. Next speaker, Gideon. You usually prefer to work alone, Captain. You usually prefer to work alone, Captain. You usually prefer to work alone, Captain. Next speaker, Rip. This time I'll need a team. This time I'll need a team. This time I'll need a team. Alright, so now you will see on the screen the minute to which you will have to go back on the video to listen to the dictation again, unmark accents, and then go back and mark tones. So buckle up, because now I'm going to show you the answers. Time Master. We are not warriors, Captain Hunter. We possess no army. Rip says, and I'm not asking for one. Just a single time ship. And your permission to change history before Vandal Savage puts an end to it. I'm not appealing to you as time masters, but as humans. Please notice that there are a lot of high falls in this part. And when you transcribe the word history, I may have said history and then I may have said history, so both would be correct transcriptions, all right? And then notice the little circles that you will see, which is another diacritic. The circle is placed before a syllable that is phonetically strong, but it's not accented, all right? It is just strong because of the vowel it has, all right? I'm going to read this part again. We are not warriors, Captain Hunter. We possess no army. And I'm not asking for one. Just a single time ship and your permission to change history before Vandal Savage puts an end to it. I'm not appealing to you as time masters, but as humans. Let's see the second part. Please, grant me the authority to change the timeline. Just this once. We move to another scene where Rip is on the time ship and Gideon says, "How did the council meeting go, Captain Hunter?" "Exactly as expected, Gideon." "So we are proceeding?" Please notice that the first time Gideon speaks, the nucleus, we have an early nucleus and a very, very long tail, all right? And then when Rip replies, we've got the same, right? A very early nucleus and a long tail. And then Gideon asks this question, so we are proceeding. And then when you see the theory clip on questions, you will understand why Gideon uses this intonation in the question, all right? It's a high rise. It's probably the first time a high rise appears in one of your dictations. I'm going to read this part again. Please, grant me the authority to change the timeline. Just this once. How did the council meeting go, Captain Hunter? Exactly as expected, Gideon. So we are proceeding? Let's see this part. Indeed. Prepare the Wave Rider for takeoff. Set a course. United States, Star City, January 2016. And Gideon replies, the early second millennium AD. The golden age of gasoline engines, online pornography, and those silly little smartphones. What are we going to retrieve, Captain? You may have transcribed the word captain with a schwa on the last syllable, and that would be all right. Just to clarify, what do we have over here? We've got a series of level tones that I hope you spotted. We have a rise, the golden age of gasoline engines, and we have a couple of 4 rises over here. Let me read this part again. Indeed. Prepare the Wave Rider for takeoff. Set a course. United States, Star City, January 2016. The early second millennium AD. The golden age of gasoline engines, online pornography, and those silly little smartphones. What are we going to retrieve, Captain? Right? And the last part of this dictation. Oh, not what. Remember when you see that arrow going down, if you mark the stroke, that's okay, all right? It's not wrong. The thing is that then you will learn that there are different kinds of accents, and so you will need to change diacritics sometimes. But if you mark the stroke, that's fine. Oh, not what? Who? I need you to pull up some files, Gideon. The 8 men and women who'll be joining us on our little crusade. You usually prefer to work alone, Captain. This time I'll need a team. Okay, so interesting things here. Rip makes the pronoun I strong. Okay, this is for emphatic purposes, and this can be done even when you know that pronouns are not accented. They're not usually accented, but you as a speaker may choose to make a pronoun accented if it adds to the meaning. So he says, I need you to pull up some files, Gideon. Let me read this final part again. Oh, not what? Who? I need you to pull up some files, Gideon. The 8 men and women who'll be joining us on our little crusade. You usually prefer to work alone, Captain. This time I'll need a team. All right, so with that, you've got the key to this dictation. Just a few things to remember. Check words in the dictionary, just in case, to know if there are any additional possible pronunciations, and that will help you decide which of those, if there are, the person you're listening to is using. Then scan your transcription for rules and common errors. What we notice as teachers is that most of the mistakes that students make have to do with the use of rules, or the misuse of rules in this case. And also, if you know that there's a mistake that you always make, or you tend to make in your dictations, well, be on the lookout for those in particular, right? I remember that when I was a student, I usually forgot to include linking ra. So whenever I did a dictation, I always checked that all my linking ras were there. And then another thing that you can do is use the resulting transcription for oral practice. When you get a video like this, then you have the text and you have the sample, right? You have the teacher reading this text to you. So one thing that you could do is take this opportunity to practice reading this dictation aloud and checking it with the reading your teacher provided. And then you can send it to us and we can check it for you as well. Make the most of the practice that you get. Okay? So that would be all. I hope this has been useful. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye!